Hey, it's Ken from OK Portugal, and today we are doing the annual grape harvest. We're on Joaquin's farm. He's my next door neighbor, and as you can see, we're in his vineyard. We've had a long, hot, dry summer. We've had multiple heat waves. It's been quite a tough year on the farm. We've been here for 4 years now, and this is definitely like the driest I've ever seen it. In the April, when we were supposed to get all of our rains, which is quite a common thing here in Central Portugal, where they say em avril aguas do mil, which is like in April you get like 1,000 rains. We had no rain, and that was quite a big deal for our farm. All of our water levels have dropped quite substantially because of that, and things are very dry. Now summer does start in sorry, did I say summer? Autumn does start in 2 days' time, and you can already see some of the signs of that now. A lot of the leaves are going brown and orange, starting to turn and starting to fall on the ground. So it's going to be the end of our long, hot, dry summer, and I'm hoping that we're going to get a little bit of rain. Now, Joaquin was telling me that in September, round about the sort of first week of September, probably from the 1st to the 10th, it always rains. So hopefully we are going to get a little bit more, and we can top up all of our groundwater sources and our well and our dam and things like that. Bom dia, Joaquin.
Tudo bem?
Tudo bem.
Yes.
But things are looking pretty good, as you can see over here. All these grapes. Really, really not bad at all. Costa, bom dia.
Bom dia.
Tudo bem?
Tudo bem.
So this is Costa. Olá, bom dia.
Bom dia.
Tudo bem?
Tudo boa?
Boa, boa.
Boa. Tudo operacional.
So, yeah, basically, it's quite a simple procedure. You get your snippers, snip the grapes off, stick them in the buckets, and then they go into the back of the tractor. I much prefer the grape harvest to the olive harvest. It's actually pretty quick to go past these trees and snip off the berries, whereas the olive harvest probably takes us about 4 or 5 days, and that's a lot more complicated. Hello, Gina.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's alright. Yeah, I don't mind the grape harvest, like you were just saying. It's more gentle than the olive harvest.
Yeah, exactly. Geez, he's got quite a lot of grapes. I wasn't expecting this. Ours is nothing in comparison. Now, as you can see, a lot of these grapes have actually turned into like raisins because we've had some extreme heat. I'm not sure exactly how many heat waves we had, but we had a lot. As you can see, that starts to damage some of the grapes and turns them into raisins. Our farm's in the background over here, and directly in front is Joaquin's farm. This is where he keeps his sheep, and he has his vineyard. He also has like an orchard, which is down in this direction over here. And then all of the buildings in the background where he keeps his sheep overnight. Now he's taken his tractor, because it was full of grapes, and he's taken that all the way down the road to his main house. That's where we're going to be doing the sort of pressing of the grapes and getting it all ready for the production of wine. And then I'm guessing he's probably going to walk his way back down any moment. This is his trusty Bedford, which is like an old sort of pickup truck, and this thing's absolutely amazing. You've probably seen it in my other videos. I think he said it's got something like 500,000 or 1 million kilometers on the clock, so, and this thing doesn't skip a beat, you know. And yesterday we actually made a start on the vineyard here, just in the background, so that one's all done. And then the only one that we still have to do is that vineyard just over there, just in front of our house. It's actually quite a strange day. It's the first time that I've done a harvest where the weather is like this. It's very clear skies today, but there's quite a strong wind, and it's actually a little bit cool. And I'm not sure if that's because we've just come out of like a sort of 40-degree plus heat wave. I think it was like probably about 8 days, and I think it went up to about 43 degrees on the farm, which is pretty crazy. My dad absolutely loved it. Obviously, we're from South Africa. You know, I've been in England for like 17 years and now 4 years here in Portugal. So, you know, I think I'm not that acclimatized to the heat anymore. But while we were on the farm, my dad was loving every moment of that 43-degree heat, to the point where, like, he went for an afternoon nap and he was just in a sun lounger, just lying in the baking sun, which I couldn't believe. But yeah, no, he had an awesome time, and it was so nice to spend time with him. And if you're watching this, Dad, I love you lots, man. Right, so Joaquin's back. We've got the truck now, which is going to mean that he's got a lot more space, and it looks like he's brought a little picnic for everyone. Oh, nice. is pescas de horta.
No. Berinjela frita.
Berinjela frita. Okay. And here we go. We have a feast. A feast. We actually have some of the wine from last year just over there. We have some sardines. We have something called berinjela de frita. We have some suelera cheese, which is made on the farm. And I'm not entirely sure what this one is. I think this one might be fried fish. And we have some nice bread. Try one of these. What is berinjela?
Berinjela, it's
like a vegetable.
Pomeriggio or... No, pomeriggio. You have pomeriggio?
Com sardinha, água, peixe não nada, água. Nada vinho.
What? The...
Fish, you've got to have water.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See. Cheers. Saúde.
Saúde.
When we bought our farm, we noticed on the deeds, it was called Quinta de Feiteira. And we asked around, like, you know, what does feiteira mean? And no one really knew what it meant. And now that Joaquin's given me a little bit of this wine, this is the wine that we made last year, and he calls it Vinho de Feiteira. So I was asking, and the closest thing that I can figure out is our farm, the area where our farm is, was called Feiteira. And apparently Feiteira meant something to do with making, or like the maker's farm. And on Joaquin's farm, just in the background, probably where that tree in the middle of the screen is, there was a chapel many years ago, and so this one was called Quinta de Capello, or Capella. And so yeah, that's where the name comes from. And our wine is called Vinho de Feiteira, which is pretty cool. And it's quite strong stuff. This whole harvest was like started at about 7 o'clock in the morning, and so I just kind of like woke up, and I haven't had breakfast or anything, but this is a pretty good breakfast, I guess. So we haven't seen like the regular rains for a very long time, and I don't know how many months it's been, but basically Joaquin's telling me that it's going to rain in like the next couple of days. It's probably going to rain on the weekend or early next week. And then Joaquin's going to come to our farm with his tractor, and he's going to do a till. He's basically going to get our fields ready for the next planting season. And it's amazing to think that soon it's going to rain. I have a feeling that if it does rain, it's probably going to be like hailstones, and it's going to be like small localized flooding and all sorts of stuff, because it is mega dry. Right, Joaquin's, he's packing everything away, so I better give him his glass back. I don't really feel like downing wine right now, but it's going to make for an interesting morning. Normally I call beer the breakfast of champions. I'm not sure what I'd call wine, but bottoms up. Look at these juicy grapes. Yeah. One of the other neighboring farmers is taking his sheep past. These aren't Joaquin's sheep. This is actually Joaquin's neighbor. Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Tudo bem?
Já ou não?
Sim.
Sim, pronto, isso é que é preciso.
Sim, pedras de rins.
Era.
Sim, yeah.
Dores.
Muito. Ciao. I love hearing all of the sheep bells and all of the sheep coming past. It's one of my favorite things. And this is one of Joaquin's other sons. This is Acacio. Looks like he's coming to join. How's it, Dad?
How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. I was just filming the sheep now.
The sheep's okay.
Yeah. You don't mind being on camera, huh?
No.
Okay.
No problem.
So this is Acacio, and
Hi there.
Joaquin's other son, and it looks like he's going to get stuck in with the harvest as well. Yeah, cool. So Acacio is building the most awesome house just down the road, and we actually made a video of that quite a few months ago. How are things going with your build?
No, I start to paint inside, but it takes a few time to get done.
Of course, yeah. Because you're working as well. So you're working. It costs a lot of money as well. Yeah. And he's building this place looks absolutely amazing.
That stuff that costs a lot of money. The kitchen and
yes, the bathrooms.
Yeah,
and then the bedrooms and the furniture and yeah. So we will revisit that in a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to show you guys.
Spring.
In the spring, okay.
Or summer, we'll see.
Spring or summer, okay, cool. Nice. Right, now that I've got the drone and some of the camera work out the way, I'm going to get my snippers and get pruning some grapes. And after this is done, then we're going to be moving across onto our farm just over here and just getting that last vineyard done. And now we're reaching the last row, the last little bit. Look at that, looking so nice. You can see these ones here, the wasps and the bees have been eating all the sugars and stuff. And obviously it's like a little bit dry on some of them, but overall I'm quite impressed. Once this last row gets picked, then we're going to move onto our last little vineyard just on the farm over there. And then we're going to start the winemaking process. You can see just how dry all of this is. It's pretty crazy. And in a couple of weeks, all of this is just going to be like mud. And then you're just going to get greenery just growing absolutely everywhere. I'm not sure if the microphone is picking it up, but they've got these like ultrasonic things here that are basically like bird repellents. But it might be picking it up here on this mic. Yeah, this is the device here, so it's got some kind of like a sensor on it.
Yeah, I can hear it when I go close.
That's amazing. Gina says that she can't hear that.
I can't hear it from here. I had to have my ear. Like,
Really? Oh, geez, I've been hearing it all the way from when I was filming the sheep before.
maybe I'm a bird.
Yeah. So yeah, basically this is like an ultrasonic repeller. It keeps away birds and rats and all sorts of things like that. But yeah, I'm not convinced that they work, to be honest, because I've like toured properties and stuff where they had those things indoors and it was horrible on my ears, and they still had like problems with mice and rats and things. Cool. So we do have quite a few more on here.
Lots of wasps on this one.
Oh, are there? Oh, geez. Okay, yeah, you have to be careful. Basically, the wasps get these like little wasps' nests, and you go in to grab, and then they all come out and sting you. That happened to me last year.
I might let Acacio do it because he's got gloves on.
Yeah, Acacia, she's going to send you into the fire. She's going to send you in there.
Wasps scare me.
This is a good help.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's any wasps here now. I think they've been scared away.
I reckon they're hiding out in those back ones.
This one is sweet.
Oh.
You can taste. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah, don't tell your father.
Yeah.
Don't tell your father I'm eating his grapes. Yeah, you can see here also how much the dam has dropped. So we've got the same thing on our farm. In the winter it'll come all the way up, and it's dropped now maybe
Next week, I think
5 meters.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Yes, rain next week. Jeez, this is, I mean, look at the size of this one. Look at that. Gina, hold that up for a second. Look at the size of those. That is lovely.
I can do my weight training with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 1 kilo. Yeah.
easy, yeah. Gina, I'm starting to feel my wine breakfast.
Are you?
Yeah, it's. I feel like I'm floating. I feel like I'm floating on a cloud.
That's what you get for drinking wine at 9 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's not even 9. It's probably what, you know, they started at what, 7? What was it, 9? Has it been? Yeah, I suppose it could be about 9. I'm not sure.
I think by the time we had, I don't know what time it is now.
Oh, it's 10:33 already. Okay. Yeah, but it's been a while since I drank the wine, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock for wine.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Joaquin's got a problem with this as well. These are, in South Africa we call them devil thorns, or goat's head thorns. I think that's what they call them overseas. But it's like it makes these little thorns, and there's tons of them, especially on a big one like this. But they're quite easy to get rid of because they've got this long taproot, and you've got to pluck the whole thing out. I think I got most of it, and chuck them away before they infect your entire land. And they make these thorns that literally puncture tires. They get stuck in the sheep's feet, and they're absolutely horrible. But I see he's got a bit of a problem with them here, so as I'm putting my camera down, I'm just searching out for some and getting rid of them as I come across them. It's quite a clever plant. Its seeds are the thorns, and obviously humans, animals, cars and everything pick them up. They get stuck to them, and then they take them elsewhere, and then they obviously plant them into the ground as they step down. And then, yeah, they just take over, basically. See? See? All right, Gina. It's time for our grapes.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be as luscious as Joachim's grapes.
No. We've got a whole bunch of these horizontal sort of fence rows, and then we also have the ones that go along this way. We have a couple around like the wells and stuff, stretching all the way back to the back there. But I think the amount of grapes that we have on these at the moment is not very good. Although, those don't look too bad. And that's probably because we've got the well just over there. And every time I have a look in this well, it's dropped a couple of centimeters, which is kind of worrying when you haven't had rain for so long. But fortunately, it's a really deep well. And let's have a look at what's going on in here. So, yeah, it's about as low as I've ever seen it before. But we still have quite a few more meters. So from the black pipe, just up there, we've got 8 meters going down. And I'd say that's probably dropped about 5. So we probably have 3 meters of water just below there. And obviously this is fed from the groundwater source. So if you pump all of this out, it'll trickle all back in again. But as the groundwater goes lower and lower with the drought, you could end up in a situation where you don't have any more. But it's never happened before. And obviously, you know, the drought can't last forever. And we still have quite a lot. Oh, look, we got some little froggies sitting on that little on that little plastic pipe. I tell you what, wine for breakfast is not a good idea. Especially if you're trying to like shoot and narrate a video. So hopefully it turns out well. Right, so it's time for me to put my camera bags down and get stuck in. Let's get this out the way of the tractor. Oh, we got some horseflies jumping on me. I don't want to get bitten by those. And yeah, I'm going to get stuck in and start working on all of these vines. How is the harvest looking up this side? It's
the row is normally pretty good.
It's pretty good. Okay.
The other rows are
yeah.
not so good.
And up here as well is usually pretty good as well.
On the patio as well, they'll be good ones.
Yes, yes.
Because they get watered.
Yeah, these don't look too bad. Yeah. The problem we have is our chickens. Our chickens are free ranging and they come over here and they eat the grapes. So
they need to eat.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, it's not a great year for grapes on our farm. What we really need to do is start irrigating our grapes. So like where Jochen has his trellises, I really want to put some trellises over here so that you can train the grapevines over the trellises. And at the bottom there where there's that well which I showed you, use that as like an irrigation point and actually get some drip lines going along here. So in the summertime, these grapes don't get so dried out. You can see these ones over here are struggling quite a lot. But as we get closer to the house, then they look a lot better. All of these little ones here, you can see, they're completely taken, and that's because our free-ranging chickens probably go about, I don't know, 10, 20 meters down there. Look, there's one over there. And they absolutely love grapes. Let's see if I can find a grape for her. She'll probably munch it now. Let's get some grapes. Chicky, chicky, buck, buck, buck. Chicky, chickies, come on. What's this? Yeah, what's that? Grapes. Here we go. Straight down the hatch. She liked that. And look, all of the other ones are coming now to see what's going on. And Rui Rooster. Chicky chickies. Buck, buck. Yeah, what's this? Come on, my girl. Yeah, look, chicky chickies. There you go. They love those. Nice little sugary treat. So what do you think? It's not as bad as we expected, because we actually do have quite a few nice ones here, hey Gina?
Yeah, they're nice on the patio because they're getting watered.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And above our little pool area as well, I think. Well, we had a load and now I can hardly see any. I mean, all of the other years were a lot better. Yeah, there's only a couple above here. But then again, this doesn't really get irrigated, so you can see it's super dry over here. Super dry over there. Now I know a farm life video is not complete without the geese. Let's go and say hello to them quickly. Goosey, goose, goose. Goosey, goosey. So she's very sweet. See, she's very sweet, and she kind of nibbles, but he's not very sweet. He's definitely trying to kill me. But he's seeing all of these people here, and so he's a little bit stressed out. But if I bring him food, then he calms down. Hey, do you mind keeping quiet for a sec? I'm trying to make a video. Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard any of that, but well, that's the geese. Cool, let's see what we've got so far. Now we've had a couple of loads that have been dropped off on Joaquin's farm. I'm not sure if all of this came off ours. I really don't know actually. But they've dropped a couple off at Joaquin's house. And yeah, this is what we got. So you can see, look, a lot of ones that are almost like raisins. I mean, that's proper raisins, look at that. And that's just that dry, no water, lots of sun. Yeah, when I was flying the drone now, when you're above, it doesn't look like there's many vines in here, but actually when you're on the ground, it looks quite different. And you can see they look a lot bigger than what they do from the, well, from the air. How's it going, Gina?
It's right, it's getting warm.
Today is 30 degrees, and then from tomorrow, I think it drops all the way down. It's going to start getting cold. 2 days, obviously autumn starts, and then the rains are going to start coming hopefully next week. And when I say rains, it's probably only going to rain for 1 day, and then we're going to have to wait a couple more months until we get a proper drenching. But usually, in my experience, when you haven't had rain for a long time, we end up getting like a major hailstorm and a major sort of splattering. So I'm really hoping for that. But yeah, things are going to start to look really different here from this sort of dry, arid, dusty farm. After the rains come, then everything starts to green up. The whole farm starts to look absolutely amazing again. There is nothing quite as farmy as having an old Ford tractor parked in your field here when you're doing something like a harvest or an olive harvest or ploughing or something like that. This is very, very farmy. I absolutely love this thing. Look at this. Solid. This is one of Joaquin's, I think he has 4 tractors now. I'm not sure. And Acacia also has a Ford tractor. He's also got one.
1981.
1981, nice. It's like a medium size. It's not a small, but it's like a medium.
Yeah, it's medium.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels really good to be doing farm stuff again. We had like the whole of summer where everything kind of quietens down, everything sort of shuts down, and now this is like the first of the sort of farming activities that start in the sort of autumn, going into the winter and getting the fields ready for the spring. Cool. So I think we've reached the end there, and I think it's time. I don't know, wait, Joaquin, I think he's found a couple more in that row over there. Get every last drop, and this is the harvest here, and we obviously have a couple more of these that are already dropped off at Joaquin's house. Hey, well, I don't know if you can see on the screen there, but it's 12 o'clock on the dot. We started at about 7, so that's like 5 hours. But it's actually quite quick. I mean, when you do the olives, jeez, it takes a long time. I mean, this is pretty quick. And with the olives, it's all about stretching all the way up and then bending really, really far down to pick everything up. Whereas this is all kind of waist high, sometimes a little bit lower. But yeah, we don't mind the grape harvest, and you get tasty wine from it as well. Well, what do you think of that, Gina?
Sticky hands.
Yeah. I mean, last year and the year before and all of that was much better, I think.
Yeah, this was quite a poor year. I think on Joaquin's farm as well, not just on ours.
Yeah, but that's normal, you know, like we had years where we didn't get many olives, and then we had other years where we got like 2.5 tons of olives, like, you know, so, you know, it happens. You get good years and bad years, and obviously that's dictated by the climate and the rain, the sun and the heat. So, yeah, I'm going to take their bike. I'll shut the gate after me, and then I'm going to cycle up there and join them for squishing the grapes. This is by far one of my favorite ways of getting around the farm and around this area. You've got the open road, hardly any traffic, beautiful weather, and it's not like a car or a motorbike where everything's like noisy. You actually get to hear, like, you know, the birds and the wind and stuff like that. I love it. There go our grapes. Right, so we're at Joaquin's house, and we're going to go downstairs to their basement. This is where we make the wine. And I think Acacia is going to start preparing the wine vat and cleaning everything. Ah, here we go. There's a lot more grapes. Yeah, there we go. So that's quite a lot. So we've still got some more, I think, in the tractor. Oh, wait, I think these came out the back of the tractor. Wait. Okay. So what's happening here is this little machine over here is going to macerate all of the grapes. The grapes are going to go on the top. They're going to get crunched up, and they're going to end up in this vat here. These are the teeth that basically spin around. So I'm not sure if I showed you, but this is the tank. So now we start the machine and we start to tip. start to see some of the wine, or sorry, some of the grape juice that's coming out. A nice dark purple color. And we can see here, this is where all of the sort of wine stalks go. And they come out of this end over here. This one's nearly full. Look at all these grapes, Gina. Awesome.
I'm having a grape bath.
You what?
I'm having a grape bath.
Oh, I thought you said you're having a grape time. You can see we've got all the grape stalks. And these here will go to the sheep. And the sheep are going to eat these. And that's the last of the stalks. The last of the stalks. You can see it makes a big sticky mess. So now they're just going to put some water through. And you can see that all coming through here now. Just give it a little bit of a clean. And then we'll take it outside and clean it properly with a hose pipe. Wow. Por ovelhas comer?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Fernanda quer pedir Kenny, se cães estão fechados em casa, apanhar figos aqui.
Figos, sí. Roger? Agora, okay. So we had the most amazing lunch with Joaquin and Fernanda at their house after we did the harvest. I know, like, the video ended kind of like abruptly there, but that's the thing when you're trying to vlog, is sometimes things don't work out as planned. But at the moment what he's been doing is he's come down with the tractor all of the stalks that were left over from sorry, I've had a long sleep now. We had like a busy lunch. I had a long afternoon sleep from macerating. Yeah, so from macerating the grapes, all of the stalks, he's just putting them out in the field here now, and tomorrow when the sheep come out, then they're going to love eating on those. And he was just saying that Fernanda's going to come in about 5 minutes time. She wants to come onto our farm because we've got a lot of different fig trees, and there's one in the background here just along the front wall. We've got a few more dotted around the property, and she wants to come and collect the figs. Oh, I just never get tired of coming up our driveway, driving to this little farmhouse, man. 4 years ago since we bought this place, and every single day that I come here it's like a dream. It's so awesome, especially on a day like today when you get to do work in the fields with your neighbors and have lunch with them, and really experience what it's all about living in Central Portugal, you know, and mixing in with the local community. I love it. Fernando, figos para porco. Ah, okay. So you can imagine these figs are going to be full of like sugars and things like that, and the pig's going to love that. And then we do actually still have some in the trees, but they are all very dry. Like this little one over here, and all of these ones on the bushes. Oh, they're very soft. They're actually very soft and they look quite nice inside, but as you can see they're very small because of the drought. Yeah, very, very nice. It's like treasure hunting. Alright, so it's been 2 days, and I needed to put an end on this video because the ending that I recorded didn't come out well. One of my cameras broke, my really expensive, big, beautiful cinema camera, which I'm quite bummed about. And then the GoPro that I was using also messed up, which is why I had to use some clips using my mobile phone and etc, etc. Fortunately, I have backup cameras. But yeah, it's a bit of a pain. But yeah, we reached the end of the harvest. Actually, I want to show you something quickly. Remember that rain I told you about? Well, it's scheduled for tomorrow, and you can see the clouds are starting to build up now. It's getting a lot cooler, and soon we are going to have rain. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. But what was I going to say? I can't remember. I was going to say something. I must be getting old. Yeah, the grape harvest is done. The only other piece that we need to do on that now is in about 2 weeks' time, we'll come back to that vat where all of the grapes are being macerated, and we'll remove the grapes from the liquid or the wine is going to go into a fermentation vessel, and that's going to sit and that's going to mature. And then those grape skins are going to go into, well, they're going to go into like a copper still, and we're going to make aguardente, which is kind of like a moonshine type thing. And I'll film that for you guys later. So this is the point where I sign off, and maybe I'll get some footage of the glorious rain starting tomorrow, and this dry farm can finally get some water after months and months and months. Oh wait, just before we go, we got the geese. Jean is putting them to bed. I think they're trying to make one last bid for freedom before they go. But they actually like going in there, but just sometimes they are like, ooh, that's interesting. Come on, geese, off to bed. Goosey. Go to bed. At night time, we have a fox that's coming down here, and he's very interested in sniffing this whole area. I've got security cameras, and then I pick him up on the security cams. And yeah, and he comes down here, he runs around the house, and he goes into the area where we have the chickens, and he does all sorts of stuff. But we are going to love you and leave you.
Have you shown them the clouds?
I have, yes.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed for rain.
No, it is going to rain.
Who thought an English person would be saying fingers crossed for rain?
Exactly. I mean, you know what's so weird? In England, I used to hate it. I absolutely used to hate it. Now I'm mega excited about getting some rain and some cooler weather.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It'll be nice for rain.
It will be. And so from Mimosa, the OK Portugal Farm doggy, and Edmundo, our other beautiful boy, that's it until we see you again.
Bye.
Ciao.